another thing as well. So we're aware about your foundation and you kind of giving back.
Yeah.
Touch on that. Tell us a bit more about what you're trying to achieve. What inspired you to start it, and what's in store for you guys moving forward or in the future?
Yeah. So the foundation was something that I kind of dreamt of when I started my career. I think it was the first time I really traveled Nigeria. I spent a lot of time in Nigeria as a kid because my dad still lived in Lagos. He always did, even when I was growing up in the Netherlands. So every holiday I was in Nigeria, but it was the first time that I went back and spent time in my home state, Akwa Ibom, and then also played in different cities. And I feel like every time I was in Nigeria, I could connect with people in a different way, because people bring you all the joy, but they also show you all their problems, and they kind of look at you to try and resolve it. So I wanted to find a way in which I could do my little bit. There's been loads of players who've done stuff in the past with academies. We had also again Igalo, who had his orphanage home in Lagos, and they were always like showing us the way. And then when the AFCON happened, I wasn't expecting it to go as well as it did for the team, but also for me personally. I was close to retiring just before the tournament because I fell out with the coach actually the year leading up to the tournament. When I got so much love from everyone in Nigeria, it just seemed like the right time to use that momentum to actually do something meaningful with it. We came back from Ivory Coast. We met with the president. He even addressed me personally. I met with my governor. I met with the Senate president. All these people that all of a sudden are asking me, "Oh, what do you want to do in Nigeria? Or what's your idea?" And then, of course, the first thing I said is my foundation. And then I thought, okay, I've got the attention of these people now. I need to do something with it. So we kind of put that together in 3 months with the charity game, which was then in June. So 3 months after the tournament to launch it. And the whole idea was just trying to collaborate with as many brands and people that I could get in a room with to do something good, because I know, okay, I can do so much myself. And of course, the greatest responsibility lies with me. But I wanted to create something which eventually becomes self-funding, because I know I can only play for so many more years, which when I have, disposable income, people can always do what they can with what they have. But to really make a difference, it's about creating opportunities through education, through sports, which was missing in my state, especially the sports bit. So I wanted to use my name and what I'd done so far to do something good. So that's how the foundation started. And there's been so much good press, great reception from the people back home as well. So now it's actually gotten to a stage where we've actually can expand. I think we wanted to make a direct impact by helping schools, orphanages that are already there, because there's so many great initiatives that are already in Nigeria. But then, the long-term plan is to have our own school and have our own football academy. But that's still in the next 1 or 2 years, I reckon.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And congratulations on all you've done so far.
Thank you.
So moving on, again, like we said earlier, you're still very young. Well, what's the plan after you hang it up? Again, you got plans of management, anything like that?
I mean, I'm that's the phase that I'm in now. So I'm thinking about what I want to do next, really. So I think it would be a waste if I didn't use my experience in football, just because I traveled to so many different countries, different cultures, played different leagues, and I can see how much can be done in Nigeria with the talent that we have. But at the same time, it's also very competitive. I don't know if I want to become a manager simply because I've spent so much time traveling. Also, I want to spend some quiet time with my family at home, being in one place, and doing the simple and normal things in life, taking my kids to school, and just being there with them. I can't rule it out completely, but I think maybe the business side of football and having a little bit more longer term project somewhere, like being a sporting director or something along those lines, I think I would quite like to do. Being a manager and then maybe getting fired after 3 months and moving all over the place, not something that I want to do right now.
No, yeah, you're one of the few footballers that has you've got a degree from business administration, right, from Middlesex. Yeah. I guess that's I know for a fact that's linked to your Nigerian heritage and parents as well, wanting to make sure that you had a degree as well. Can you just touch on that quickly? Because I feel like so many players, like I've got 2 cousins now who are coming up for Arsenal and Hull FC, and in their minds, going to university isn't even a thought. Yeah. So how did you manage to balance both of that?
I think that was like part of my bargaining tool at the time when I signed at Spurs when I was 16. So I said to my mum, okay, I'm going to carry on with my business studies. And then, for me, it was always plan B, to, continue at university or to educate myself further, because I was doing well in school before I left. And it would have been a shame, but I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't something that I really wanted to do because, of course, my passion, my love was for football. And I just realized, as you kind of get older and, you have a set time when you're working, of course, you have time to rest. You can also spend a lot of time on your PlayStation or Netflix. But I feel like I've almost watched everything on Netflix now. So I kind of wanted to use my time for other things. But yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. And when you are young and you only have one objective in your mind is to make it and become a pro, it feels like a distraction when you have to do something else. But there's so many players that have done or studied besides playing. It's just whether or not you want to make the time for it. But I think it gives you a lot more benefits, and in the end it also kind of takes the pressure off because you don't really have to do or die thing, and if you don't make it as a player, then at least you have something else to fall back on. And yeah, it sounds very classic Nigerian mentality and what your parents want for you, but I think you kind of have to take that on board as well, because they've been there and they're probably 20, 30, 40 years ahead of you. So there's life after football, which you don't necessarily want to confront yourself with. And whether that is at the end of a career, or that is a career cut early because you don't make it for one reason or another, at least you have something to fall back on. So yeah, I'll definitely encourage your cousins to do something, but at least that kind of takes like I said, the pressure off, and when things aren't going as well, you don't feel like your whole world is just crumbling and falling apart.
I'm a different type of rock star. I got class and I got Henny overflowing up my shot glass. And yeah, I know I'm not a keeper, but can you be my mama seater by the time I'm done with